you thought I was dormant. Woke up early from shots that was swarming the block.
What's up, team? Here's a video I've been wanting to do for a while, and if you're new here, my name is Abraham Armas. I'm a certified strength and conditioning specialist based out in Dallas, Texas. My goal is to provide high quality information and education so you can apply this to your training. I'm gonna go over 3 important must-knows before you add these exercises to your training. If you only care about the exercises, then feel free to skip from the chapters below so you can watch my top 7 injury prevention exercises. First thing, when people say injury prevention, they're usually referring to the smaller exercises which are used as prehab or rehab, and for the most part, yeah, that's what they are. However, what if I told you doing these smaller exercises aren't always the best way, or better yet, the only way to reduce your risk of injuries? And with that, we go on to our second fact. Research shows a 66% decrease in risk of injuries after following progressive ACL, hamstring, hip, knee strengthening protocols. Not only do these help with a reduction of injuries, but an increase in sports performance as well. This systematic review highlights the importance of doing what we would call gym work. And that's what I want you to keep in mind. Heavy compound lifts, jumping, and especially sprinting cannot be replaced by injury prevention exercises. And if you are someone with weak ankles, hips, or anything else, yeah, it should be in your best interest to strengthen these up on top of your compound lifts, jumping, and sprinting. And number 3, other ways for reducing risk of injuries, which are also very important. A gradual increase in load should always be done when adding additional training to reduce overtraining. The body does not like a spike in volume, and the body cannot properly adapt if you keep training without rest. In addition, and this is a non-negotiable, proper sleep and nutrition should be implemented daily. Sleep as if you're a warrior preparing for battle, and eat like an adult, giving your body the fuel it needs to go into battle. All right, team, going over a very underrated exercise. We typically see a lot of hip flexion training that is going on viral right now. And although that is very good, I feel there's a part of that movement that we're not getting enough of. Something that we do see a lot on the pitch whenever we are sprinting, and that is focusing more on the extension parts of that flexion. We get plenty of hip flexion movements. We train this enough already. But what about this end range right here? This whole range right here that's probably very weak, and that's what we're gonna be training today. Notice my elevated setup. I'm gonna get on the edge of the seat. I have a kettlebell as well because I can put my foot in that, and I'm gonna lean all the way back. And again, make sure you're at the very edge. So from here, I'm gonna hug my knee, right? And that's gonna help pick up my hips up. And then from here, right, this right leg is the one that's working. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you'll notice, now I have a huge stretch on that hip flexor right here. Again, I have a huge stretch on that hip flexor as I am going down. And again, I only really care about the eccentric or that negative movements. So whenever I reset, bring it back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And make sure that you get a good load where you're able to feel that stretch as you are going down into this movement. The split squat isometric is a very simple exercise. No weight needed for this one. You're gonna get into the split stance position, and you're just gonna go low, and you're gonna hold this position right here. This is an exercise that I originally got from Jake Tura. I don't know if that's how you say his last name, but he's a practitioner that studies the tendons and like literally deep inside, like what happens whenever you put those tendons under tension and how healthy it is for those tendons. So we're gonna get down very low. Again, guys, it's a very simple exercise, but if you can do it for the prescribed time and reps, you're gonna be golden. You're gonna be creating very strong tendons, ligaments, good muscles, everything all around great exercise. The way that we can make this easier, right? So notice this 90-90 position. This is gonna be probably the toughest progression right here, especially if I lean forward into it, right? And you see, I'm already shaking a little bit. I can make this easier by maybe coming up into it. Also, by scooting my leg more back. And now I'm gonna be distributing the weight in the front and in the back. And this is just how to start off. And guys, you can find this in all my programs from my Ultimate Footballer to my in-season plan. Each phase provides a different goal, reps, and intensity is specified to make sure you're always progressing. All right, team, so it's one thing to strengthen the ankles, right? Increasing that capacity, that tissue tolerance. Now it's another thing actually training the ankle with these specific movements that we actually do on the pitch, and all I mean by that is jumping. right? We jump on the pitch, we run on the pitch. What's super important is that, yes, once we get that capacity, that strength, now it's time to get it through those more specific things to make sure the body can handle these loads. And this is how we're gonna create healthy ankles, right? I got this drill from PJ Performance, great basketball coach, so we're here. Notice how I'm creating these sharp 90-degree angles, pop, pop. And then once I get the rhythm, right? Some of y'all may not be able to do this. This may be tough. And the way that we make this easier is bringing those plates closer. We go here, okay? For my ones that are very, like new to this, you may not be able to get these speeds here. For you, just start here. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Get the body used to being springy. Again, guys, if you want healthy ankles where your body can handle these loads and all this jumping and sprinting, on top of your ankle strengthening exercises, guys, you need to include something like this. There's a bunch of varieties that we can do. We're here, 2 legs, right? Something like this is gonna go a long way. All right, team, up next is the Copenhagen. You may have seen this exercise all across the internet, and for a good reason. This is gonna target that groin and those adductors, and there's many progressions where we can start at. The first one is gonna be on the knee, so knee's gonna be on the bench, and we're gonna hold this position right here, okay? The next progression after that, we're gonna go on to a long lever. I like to make sure that my shin is on that bench, right? I can also use a chair, whatever I have available in here. And this bottom leg is always pressing up as well, and this is gonna be the next progression. The next progression after that long lever, now we can start repping it out. So we go down, touch with the hips, back up, down, and back up. How you can make this even more tougher is obviously elevating this bench up a little bit higher. Maybe in this case, I would put some plates so I can elevate it, and I'm able to get a longer or a bigger range of motion on those dynamic Copenhagens. And again, this is a great exercise because the groin area adductor is a very injury prone site for footballers, and by strengthening it, we're making it more durable. We're making sure that we have a nice and healthy groin area and healthy adductors. Up next, so we know that footballers typically have very weak abductors, which are the muscles that help us abduct, like in this direction like this, where we are going outside. This is one of my favorite exercises, which I like to go more for volume, and I can even add load to my ankle to make this more difficult. We're gonna go on to our side, and I can begin by bringing my bottom leg back, side plank position, and this leg here, I'm gonna put my toe down, I'm gonna push it back, so a lot of things happen here, and I'm gonna start repping it out. As I rep it out, I'm leading with the heel, okay? I'm leading with that heel, I'm going all the way up, all right? And this is gonna start to get tough. After this, to progress it, then we can go on 2 legs, same thing, just like that. All right, and to further progress it from here, I may grab a small 1 kilo, maybe a 1 to 2 pound weight, and I'm gonna go all the way over here. And again, just repping this out, guys. We really wanna get a lot of reps and a lot of volume in this smaller exercise. The next one is another one that we all know is a simple calf raise. And we can begin by going on to 2 legs, up and down. If that's too easy, we only go up on 2 legs, we drop down, and we go and progress, boom. Look at that slow eccentric, that slow negative. A progression from here, now we pick this leg up over here into 90-degree position, and I'm going here, holding it at the top, boom, holding it at the top, right? And if you want to, and I actually encourage it, even take off your shoes. That's gonna make it even more difficult. And the third and final progression, now I have a dumbbell on my side, right? And this is how we're gonna load that calf even more. Another awesome thing is that you don't even have to do just this variation. I always like to switch it up. Go into also seated calf raises. That's gonna get more of the Achilles, which is super important. So we're doing standing calf raises, and we're also able to do seated calf raises. This next one is the ankle rocker. You may have seen this across my YouTube. So with this one, another great ankle exercise, super underrated in my opinion, to train those joint specific angles for the ankle and the knee. So I'm gonna begin by going on to this calf raise, right? So notice how I'm in this 90 position here. I'm on the balls of my foot and on my toes. Then from here, I'm gonna just pick 1 leg up, and I'm gonna hold this position for the prescribed reps, all right? Hey, this is gonna be very tough, super uncomfortable if you're not used to something like this, which I'm gonna assume it's gonna be most of us, right? Because we've never done anything like this. And make sure this heel's gonna wanna drop. You wanna keep it up like that. You wanna keep the knee completely over the toe. And guys, for any of these exercises, this needs to be pain-free, okay? If you do have pain there, we should at least keep the pain max 2 out of 10, where 10 is very painful, where 1 is like little to no pain at all, and just progress into that.